Hello and welcome to my class. In this particular module, I will be discussing the topic dignity of labor. Again, the topic of discussion in this module is dignity of labor. The biblical reference to this lesson of discussion is taken from the book of 2 Thessalonians from chapter 3 from verse 6 down to 15 respectively. All right, it's important that we look at the leading questions. First, we will be looking at the meaning of dignity of labor, and again we'll look at the different types of honest work that people do for a living. Then again, we'll be looking at the episodes of St. Paul, the apostles, all right, so the Thessalonian church on the topic of discussion, dignity of labor. Then, of course, we'll look at ways Christians should uphold the ideas of dignity of labor, reasons why Christians should be gainfully employed, and, of course, that will be the end of that. All right, so let's begin. What is dignity of labor? What is dignity of labor? Now, it will interest you to note here that dignity is the labor and respect attached to a particular thing, all right? When we say dignity is the honor and respect attached to a particular thing. Now then, what is dignity of labor? So dignity of labor, therefore, is the respect and honor attached to all types of honest work people do for a living. All right, they respect, all right, and honor that is being attached to all types of honest work that people do for a living. Now, in the society, of course, you know that a lot of emphasis is being laid on getting white-collar jobs, all right, and that is, of course, because people believe that these are the jobs that attract respect in the society. All right, now for these reasons, many people want to be bankers. Of course, this is some of the honest job that people do. They want to be bankers, they want to be accountants, they want to be doctors, they want to be engineers, etc. Now, this orientation, of course, should be discouraged because this orientation is wrong. Now, all types of honest work is very important in the society. Of course, they all complement one another, and the absence of any of them makes living difficult for us all. Now, let's look at some example. Now, the mechanics, okay, the carpenters, the bricklayers, all requires the services of a doctor for their health, and in turn, the doctors also requires their services to be able to live comfortably. Now, doctors need carpenter to build furniture for their houses, mechanics to repair their motors, now bricklayers to build houses for them, etc. Now, this is how it works. So that means all kind of honest work the people do in the society should be accorded maximum respect and, of course, honor. All right, now they cannot do without these services. Likewise, engineer, accountant, lecturers, etc. All right, it's important that we do not look down on any work. All right, we must learn to give doctors, accountants, engineers, laborers, mechanics, carpenters, etc. equal respect, because everyone is a professional in his or her own field, and one cannot do without the other. Now, this is very vital. Very, very important you look at that in that light. All right. Now, dignity of labor has to do with one being proud of the work one is doing for a living. Now, being prepared to actually to work to the best of one's ability and knowledge to ensure the progress of the society in which one lives. Christians must work harder in whatever they do for a living, and they should avoid laziness, indolence, and, of course, begging. Now, these were part of the focus of the teachings of St. Paul, all right, in his epistle to the Thessalonians. Now, we'll look at the apostle called Apostle Paul, all right. Apostle Paul wrote on, okay, the topic of discussion, dignity of labor, to the Christians in Thessalonica. Now, let's see what Paul taught in his epistle to the Thessalonians. Now, in St. Paul's epistle to the Thessalonians, he warned them against laziness and indolence, all right, which is very key. Now, they should not be idle. they should not be idle. This was St. Paul's emphasis in his epistle to the Thessalonian Christians. Now, he advised that Christians should work hard for their living and avoid begging. Now, Paul called their attention to when he was with them. All right, he actually took the attention back to when he was with them. He did not depend on the church for his sustenance. Rather, he worked night and day to earn his living. Paul worked night and day to earn his living. Now, though it was his right to feed from the church as an evangelist, rather, he chose to work so that they might emulate his good examples. All right. Now, this was Paul's example to the people. Paul further reminded the Thessalonians of the command that he had given when he was with them. Now, what was the command that Paul gave to them? If anyone will not work, let him not eat. Now, this was Apostle Paul, talking to the Christians. Now, with emphasis to Christians in the Thessalonica church. Now, if anyone will not work, let him not eat. All right, that's where the general phrase actually came from, when people now refer to things like no food for lazy men. All right, that's what Apostle Paul was saying here. If anyone will not work, let him not eat. Now, this is a key phrase in this topic of discussion that you must consider very important. All right, now he condemned the idea of some of them living in idleness. All right, parading themselves as busybodies. All right, being idle in the church, busybody, doing nothing in the church. They are just there, but not engaging themselves in meaningful work, not engaging themselves in doing anything, or living by the command or the instruction that's been given by the apostles or the leaders of the church. They choose to do their own thing. They are busybodies and they are lazy, employ indolence and all of that. And St. Paul says this should not be condoned in the church. Now, he advised such people to find something to do to earn their living. So St. Paul said that anyone, all right, it is a epistle, Paul was saying here that anyone who would not work should be avoided. All right, now this he wrote to the Thessalonian church so that he might be ashamed of himself, although such a fellow should not be treated as an enemy. All right, now the aim was to encourage the Christians or the persons as a Christian to be hard working. Now, this was basically the focus, of St. Paul's teaching to the Christians in Ephesus. Now, in Thessalonica, rather. Now, let's look at ways Christians should uphold the ideas of dignities of labor. Ways Christians should uphold the ideas of dignity of labor. Number one, Christians should be proud of their job. All right. Number two, dignity of labor should be emphasized. Very key. Dignity of labor should be emphasized. Christians should not be beggar or extortionist. Very key. Christians should not be beggar or extortionist. Now, Christians should not be lazy. Rather, they should be gainfully employed to avoid undue temptation to do evil. Now, Christians should be willing to take any legitimate job to earn their living. All right. Now, let's quickly also look at reasons why Christians should be gainfully employed. Reasons why Christians should be gainfully employed. Now, employed Christians would not be burdened on anyone, parents, relatives, and friends. You see, when you are employed as a Christian, you will not become a burden to anyone. Now, such Christians becomes asset to themselves and to others. Now, that is why Christians must be gainfully employed. Now, they are happy serving God without murmuring or grudging. Why? Because they are gainfully employed. They do something with their hand. They are not idle. They are not lazy. There is no case or no room for indolence. All right. So this way they can, all right, contribute meaningfully to the development and other projects of the church. Now, their life, all right, will be a source of motivation to others, people around them. All right. Well, this will come to the end of this topic of discussion, which is dignity of labor. I'll see you in the next topic, of course, the next module. Bye bye for now.